In the solo move, I often refer to how we're engaged or employers modes. The first mode is, of course, employed, then the second mode being contractor, third being consultant. But if I think about the difference between employee mode and contractor mode, some very basic things come out. First and foremost, employee mode, typically to do a task. Task execution. Do it right, do it safely, do it well, do it within the remit of the organization. There's your tick in the box. You'll take direction from managers, okay? You have that luxury. I'll go to my manager and ask, is this the right thing? What should I do next? I need a bit of guidance. That might be technical supervision or it might be more managerial. But of course, you also have limited risk ownership because the organization covers it all for you. If I do make a mistake, unless it's absolutely blatantly silly or unsafe or puts the reputation of the organization at harm, generally speaking, the organization will absorb that. But when you move into contractor mode, start thinking differently. You know, outcome responsibility. It's not just about, I'll just sit on my bum every day for 8 hours charging the client just to do work. There needs to be an outcome to that. Yes, of course, sometimes there will be a deliverable, which is a tangible deliverable, something you can see and touch, but ultimately that will lead to an outcome. You've got to be aware of that. The other one is when you are a contractor, you also in that mode, you've got to look at independent judgment. Now, I know I say in this whole series that judgment is more around consulting, but your judgment as a contractor is important through a different lens. You need to judge a situation. You need to judge stakeholders. You need to judge the quality and the quantity of the work that you're fulfilling. You need to be able to judge deadlines. You need to be able to judge those around you. If you're in a pool of contractors, how are you going against them? What does it look like in the eyes of the customer? But of course, under a contractor mode, and this is probably one of the first things that I actually did enjoy going into that mode, was around self-management, my own calendar, how I did things, how I carried myself, my own technology, being self-responsible for my behavior, how I acted in front of clients, how I dressed, my brand, my integrity, my credibility, etc., my reliability. But again, employee mode, you're working within the system of an organization. Contractor mode, you become the system itself.